Okay, boys, we're going to do a Q&A because I've received way too many questions to answer on Instagram. So let's go through your questions. If I don't answer your question, it's because it's a retarded question, and I'm not going to answer retarded questions. Like, one guy's asked me, currently I have one girlfriend now and I want one more. What mindset should I keep in mind? I think you're just flexing here, mate, by saying I can get multiple girlfriends. If you can get one girlfriend, you can get another girlfriend, obviously. I find it easy to go out and find sex, but there's one girl I can't get over who broke up with me. Yeah, that's because your ego is hurt, mate. Now, there's a thing called alpha widowing, which women go through, where basically, let's say you date a girl and she's obsessed with you, and then you dump her. Because you were her best, in order for her to get over you, she has to find someone of greater value, taller, better looking, more money. In her eyes, right, it's not greater value in terms of what you think, in terms of what she thinks, because there could be an ex-boyfriend in the past who you think you're better than him, but you can't get over him, and it's not because you're not better, it's because she doesn't think you're better or not better. So how do you get over a girl who broke up with you? And I know this guy personally, I have worked with him. You have to find a girl of more value, and you have to develop the abundance mindset, because right now you're acting from a scarcity mindset where you think that you will not do better than her. The only reason you wouldn't be able to get over her is if you think you'll never do better than her. But if it's the same girl that we spoke about, she wasn't anything special, mate. She was just a normal girl. Yeah, she didn't even respect you, so why would you cling on to that? So just date more girls, build yourself as a man, and continue to self-improve, and the higher quality girls will come into your life, and then you'll not be bothered anymore. When I compliment her, she says I'm not that good. Why are you putting me on a tree pedestal? Yeah, so when you give girls compliments, it's only going to mean something to her if she values that compliment from you. That's why I always err on the side of caution with compliments. I've never been the sort of person who just gives compliments out, because not every girl wants a compliment from you. Most girls in the West actually will respond better to you bullying the fuck out of them and teasing them, because they get compliments all day, every day. Like, imagine you're an average looking girl. Wherever you go in life, you're going to receive so many compliments. So for you to give her another compliment, it just means fuck all, right? So don't assume she wants a compliment, because not every girl's going to respond well to that. So instead, try teasing her. Next question. Do you believe that your methods will work for every woman? Pretty much, yeah, because female nature is female nature. Obviously, you'll get girls who are less responsive, so my content's mostly for Western girls, because Western girls mostly are a bit fucked up, right? That's why they respond more to bullying and teasing, because it's just like you're kind of like preying on their traumas in a kind of fucked up way. But even like the most virginistic girl, to some extent, using like game is gonna still work on her, right? You should still have the main principles, like the abundance mindset, keeping frame, being attractive, working on yourself. Some guy said, do I hate Indians? No, I don't. My partner's Pakistani, so why would I hate Indians? She's in the car with me now. I'm not going to show you her completely, but there's her hair. I don't think you can see that. Haram! This camera's going fucking wonky now. If I love myself, will she love me again? Probably not, mate. If she's lost respect for you, she's lost respect for you for a reason. And as long as you are trying to chase her for her validation or her attention, she will never want to be with you again. In situations like that, when a girl has dumped you, the only way to get her back is to literally move on, pretend she's dead, kind of like subtly flex your life and let her see that you've moved on, and let her see that you're doing well. And then she may be able to rekindle things with you, but 9 times out of 10, no, just move on. Fucking hell, some guy sent me a message, but he's not put any spaces. A month back, I am talking to a girl, she stopped, and yesterday she replied in second conversation. What does it mean? It means she enjoys the validation and the attention you give her. So with girls that won't meet you, sometimes they're keen, sometimes they're not. They're just doing this, right, because every girl, or most girls, like 9 out of 10 girls, they'll have like a selection of guys on their phone that are there, not because they'll ever meet them, but purely because they want attention, right? So let's say sometimes she's replying fast, sometimes not. It's because you're just there to feed her ego. And if you feel like you're in this category, which is most guys, then do not bitch yourself out and move on. If she won't meet you within a few weeks, then she's never going to meet you. So then, whatever excuse she gives you, just move on, my friend. So in this situation where she's sometimes replying, it's because when she isn't getting the attention she wants from her other guys lingering around her, she'll go to you. How to talk to older girls as a teenager. I mean, I think your username has 08, so I think you're born in 2008, which makes you what? 2, 12, 16 years old? I mean, what level of older girl are you wanting to talk to here? Because if you want to attract older girls, just be more mature. What are the basics of conversation? And this is a girl asking this. It depends what the purpose of the conversation is. Basics, master your body language, your tone of voice, like you're a girl, so this is less important to you. But if you're a man, you want to master your tonation, the eye contact. When you talk, everything needs to go down, not up. So rather than going hi, you go hi. Don't go how are you? How are you? Down. Your tonation is very important. Basics, I give my guys our clients a conversation framework where I say that if you want to be more charismatic, just avoid logic, ask a question and then give an assumption or a statement rather than just question, because it's fucking boring. How do I boost my testosterone level? Sleep more. I've been using these nose strips recently, which work really well because most of us mouth breathe. I've been getting way deeper sleep. Sleep more, remove inflammatory foods, eat higher protein, take your vitamins, vitamin D, magnesium, tonka ali, Fidogia agrestis, boron, zinc, and actually live a high testosterone life. Like most of you are just fucking losers who sit and play video games and wank all day. If that is you, you've got to think you're not going to be a high testosterone person. Think about a conqueror, like a Genghis Khan. Just by being Genghis Khan, he would have had very high testosterone because he was constantly competing. He had people below him. He created so much value and status for himself that his body gave him more testosterone. This is a genuine thing. When you are around attractive girls, when you are fucking attractive girls, when people respect you and you feel like you have status, you are gonna naturally have more testosterone. It isn't just your lifestyle in terms of your food and your sleep. It's also who you are and how you feel about yourself. Because think about someone like Andrew Tate. That guy sleeps 5 hours a night, but I bet he has very high testosterone because of the man that he is, right, and how people view him. Some guy who's my client has asked, am I good enough as I am? Probably not. No. Well, you need to work on yourself. It's not like you are not worth respecting. Well, maybe you're not, to be fair. Every man must be working on themselves, because a common myth is the just be yourself. It's bullshit. Ask yourself this: am I getting good results in life in terms of business, money, girls, relationships? If you're not, then no, you're not good enough. We all start somewhere. As men, we build our value. That's the way it is. How do you keep a girl interested? Be interesting. Don't be boring. Too long to answer that question. How old were you when you started coaching men with relationships? I was 23, I think. 22, 23. How to get more energy required not to bore. How to get more energy required to not bore a girl? Do you mean be more energetic? I don't know, mate. Bring the energy. If you mean that you're an introvert, I can relate to you, because I am more naturally introverted. I'm not a really loud character usually. So to get more energy, you have to just build this character, this persona. What I teach my guys is, with your friends, your family, you'll all have different characters you play, different personas, a different mask that you put on. So what you want to do is develop a mask for girls, which is your more energetic, more charismatic one. And this just comes through practice. How can I set boundaries with girls and put them in their place? Do it frequently, do it often, and do it playfully. Sometimes you will need to set a really strong boundary and be like, you little bitch, come here, don't do this. But most times not. My partner's laughing right now. No, most times it will be playful, because if you're the serious guy, she won't take you seriously. And let's say you shout at her and go, don't fucking do this. It's going to go from what she's done wrong to now how you've made her feel. And this is a common thing that most guys do. They'll set a boundary with their girlfriend, but because they've been so harsh, it's now not about what she's done, it's about how you've made her feel, aka you've upset her. So be playful. If you do this again, I'll replace you with XYZ girlfriend. Smooth way to say I want to kiss you when chatting to a girl for the first time. Don't say I want to kiss. Well, you can say I want to kiss you, but there's better ways to escalate. It's always what you do, not how you say these things. You don't need to say come here, give me a kiss, because you're sound gay as fuck. Just, you know, flirt with her and look her in the eyes, look at her lips every so often, and then she'll understand what you're trying to do, and then like gesture, come here, like pull her top or something. A friend has put 4 of us plus sangria. Yes, please. Girls say, I think we're looking for different things. Translation, she doesn't want to be with you. If a girl says she thinks we're looking for different things, that's just a polite way of saying, fuck off, I don't want to be with you. Girls don't like confrontation, so that they're very rarely going to tell you what they want. She's my girlfriend, but she's still receiving gifts from many boys. I told her not to do so, right? Yeah, she doesn't give a fuck, mate. If your girl is still entertaining other guys while she's with you, then obviously you're not enough. And she still wants validation from other guys. If she wants validation from other guys, it's because she doesn't value your validation. It's not enough. Let's say she didn't give me her number. What's the next step? Harass her until she does. I'm just joking. If she doesn't give you her number, then there's your answer. Move on. Withdraw attention back, never goes further. Why? Well, if you're withdrawing attention and it doesn't work, then you move on. It's a numbers game. Not every girl's going to want to date you or fuck you. We have eye contact and exchange a few words, but she has someone. Should I wait? Should you wait for a girl? Absolutely not. Move on. Do all women test men? If so, if you pass the test, does it mean she'll still sleep with you? Fucking hell, these questions. Yes, all girls test you. If you pass the test, will she sleep with you? No, because there's many factors that go into a woman wanting to sleep with you. Most men aren't good enough to sleep with a girl, right? Because, you know, if you're following this page, fucking hell, it's bright. If you're following this page, it's likely that you're not in the position where you could fuck who you want, because you've not built the value you need. Girlfriend still talks to ex sometimes. How do I put a boundary up politely, then walk away? Politely? You don't be fucking polite. If she's entertaining her ex, you fucking... No, you don't obviously smack her. You just say, what the fuck are you doing? You set the boundary, then you walk away. Most guys, they can set boundaries, but the reason why they fuck up is because they'll set a boundary, then do nothing about it. They'll set the boundary and then just remain as they are, and then like reward her behaviour by saying, do you promise you'll never do it again? Do you promise me? Like, fuck that. You set the boundary and then you walk away and you observe her behaviour. If she adheres to the boundary, happy days, you've solved things. If she doesn't, then you walk away, because she never will respect you enough to stick around. You don't negotiate with girls. You set the boundary and then you walk away. How do I stop repeating my mistakes on the same girl? Become more self-aware. Best advice to keep a conversation going, whether in text or person. It depends what the goal is, but be less logical. Like, if she asks you how's your day going, don't just say, yeah, good, thanks, how's yours? Say something random like walking my pet brick. I don't know, like just something fucking stupid. The purpose of you being with girls is to make her feel something, because the more you make her feel, the more reason you give her to stay around. Why did she message nearly a year later but not reply back? Because she wants validation and attention. She wants to know you're still there. How to let her love me? That's such a deep question, thanks. How to escalate to first kiss? I've already answered that. How to handle 2 or more girlfriends at a time? Fuck off. I would say, yeah. Talk tattoos, alright. Talk tattoo, can I even show you? I've got Icarus here, which is kind of cool. I've got a geometric, can I even show you this? I've got a geometric bird there. I've got, I forgot what the name of it is, but this is like a Japanese circle of life thing. Everyone thinks it's a fucking horseshoe. It's not a horseshoe. It's supposed to be a circle paintbrush. And then I've got like this like sword and serpent thing. I want some more, but I don't know what. I was in a relationship only once because she broke up. Would it be considered a dog past? I don't know what you mean by that, mate. Will it be considered a dog past? Anyway, that's all your questions. Let's refresh and see if I've had any more. I'll ask my partner, what questions do you think guys want to know from me? If you don't bring me enough value here, you're going to lose your position, so think of something.
Shut up. If you perceive yourself to have a lot of value, why will a girl still be hung up on a guy who was a bit of a bum from the past?
So if you can't hear what she just said, she said, if you're a high value guy and you're dating a girl but she's still hung up on her ex, why is this the case? Well, again, it comes down to perception of value, because just because you perceive yourself to have high value, it doesn't mean you have high value, right, in her eyes. I've had this before, right, when like one girl can be absolutely obsessed with you, and the next girl, who could be the same age, similar background, doesn't give a fuck, right? And the reason is because she doesn't perceive your value to be as high. And it comes down to like feelings, right? Because again, it's a feelings game. It's who makes her feel the most. So like, let's say you get a girl who's like 18, 19, and she's had one really toxic ex who was very hot and cold, you know, very absent, distant, but made her feel a lot. When he was with her, they had a fucking great time, they had good sex, he was very polarizing, very masculine. That's going to have a really big impact on her psyche. Like, girls don't forget certain experiences, they really don't. So let's say you've came in there and she has one of the exes, you basically have to be able to demonstrate that you're more masculine, more polarizing, offer more value, but also she has to believe that herself, right? Because there are some circumstances where a girl has been so heavily alpha widowed by a guy that she'll probably never get over him, and it's not because you're not good enough, it's because he got there before you. Sometimes it is a case of like first come, first served, and if he was there before you, it's like, that's it. That's why dating these days is so difficult, because most girls, I hope you can hear the exhaust there, most girls have had an experience where they've had some really polarizing guy. A bit like my partner now, like if she's trying to move on after me, like it'd be impossible. Like, no, I'm saying this arrogantly, but genuinely, like I don't think many guys compete with me. There's like a very small percentage of guys that can compete with me in terms of who I am, my value, what I've built for myself. So I would have zero issues with like retaining her attraction towards me, and that's the level of confidence you need to keep a woman interested long term. Because if you don't believe you can do this, do not date the girl, because you're going to be constantly needy, begging her for validation, always insecure, and how you perceive yourself subconsciously is how you act. So if subconsciously you think I'm not a high value guy and you're a bit unconfident, it's going to come through in your language, the way you talk to her, your tone of voice, your body language, and she's going to think pussy, right? But yeah, well done. Good question. Any more?
How can you change your mindset to feel like you are high value?
This comes down to how you basically communicate on a daily basis, not only with those around you, but with you yourself. Because I come across, I've got clients who are millionaires and guys who are really fucking successful and wealthy, and they, on the outside, you would think they have everything needed to be this kind of guy who can attract the high quality woman and retain her, but because of the way they perceive themselves, they can't do this, right? So what you need to do, and this is what I teach to my clients, is basically we create this document that we obsess over, where we detail how do we want to walk, talk, dress, communicate, because everything is subconscious communications. Like, you won't realize this, or you will now when I tell you, but like, let's say you're one of these guys who has this really high-pitched tone of voice, and you go about your day, but hi there, you're okay, so really smiling, really agreeable. You don't realize, but the reason why you're doing this is because subconsciously you're intimidated and you're afraid of imposing yourself on other people. So because of these little things like this, you're going to perceive yourself to be a pussy, basically. So you have to retrain yourself to communicate with a deeper, more masculine voice, to walk with a certain posture, to act and think like I am this guy, to look people in the eyes, and to do things that are conducive with feeling like this guy. Because let's say you're like a serial masturbator and you're watching tons of pornography and you're like thirsting over girls. Is that something a high value guy would do? No. So you have to then think to yourself, if I'm doing these like kind of like loser things, what am I telling my subconscious? I'm telling my subconscious I'm a fucking loser, right?
Some people say that being themselves is enough as they are in terms of dating. What are the other biggest like misconceptions of dating, in your opinion?
Yeah, so she just asked there, one massive big misconception is that you should just be yourself. What other misconceptions are there in dating? Oh, look at that X5, wow. The other misconception is that, you know, like firstly, there's like the perfect girl out there for you. It's bullshit. There's many good girls out there for you, but it's about building your value as a man so that you can attract these high quality girls. Obviously, there's some girls that you'll have stronger connections with than others, but yeah, and it's also believing that these girls will just come to you. So many guys have this notion or this belief that if I work on myself, get in the gym, make more money, the attractive, high quality girl will just like fucking flock to me. This is the biggest bullshit and nonsense I've ever heard. It's not how this works. Like I've told you, I work with very successful, wealthy guys that are tall as fuck. I literally work with a guy who's a model, an actor, and he's rich as fuck, right? He's like one of the best looking guys I've ever seen, and he still struggles with attraction and retention of girls, which tells you that it's not just what you bring, it's like your character as a man, right? So the most important thing to work on that will retain her and interest her is your character. Like, are you actually an interesting person? Do you actually give her a reason to want to be with you? Because most of you don't. And if you're a young guy watching this, like, yeah, you're not going to have built much value. When I was 19...
You scared that baby.
Let's hope there's no police there. When I was 19, yeah, I didn't have the skill set or the tools to attract a high quality woman naturally, right? And this comes over time. Whereas now, you know, like mid to late 20s, I can attract the girl that I couldn't have before. So like my current partner, when I was like 20, I looked the same, right? But I didn't have the sort of like mindset and the character to keep her interested. So you have to understand that part of being a high value guy, it just comes over time by you building your wealth, your character, having experiences, because the level of confidence I have in life, with business, with women, just day-to-day shit, you have to earn that, right? It's like a body. You can't buy a six-pack. You can buy fucking implants, but they're not going to look very good. You have to build your physique, build your mind, and then if you really work on yourself for a long time, then these girls come into your life, or you have the ability to attract them, I should say. Anyway, baby, next question. Big issue guys have is they lay their cards out on the table way too quickly, and they basically like confess their undying love for her instantly. So what she's just said there is that guys would walk up to her, and she's the kind of girl who's like head down, headphones in, not making eye contact, like a good girl basically, not looking for validation. So how do you like get yourself in there with these girls? Well, you have to be able to demonstrate your value in a confident, masculine way without being too full on, too forward, because with girls who aren't fucking whores, what the fuck? It's alright, just fucking go on to me. With girls at a higher value, like they really just don't care, and you have to be able to make a really good impression, but also like not rush things. So I'm trying to summarize. I think the best way to word this. Just slow down. Basically, is what I'm trying to say here. You know, don't try and fuck her during the interaction. So let's say you see an attractive girl you want to approach. Don't walk up to her and try and fuck her then and there. Don't try and plan the date then and there. Your purpose of the approach is to get in there, make a good impression, get some form of contact details, and then get out and set the date up over text. That's the best thing you could do with her, right? And then once you're on the date, then you do your thing. Many guys will basically try to explain their value rather than demonstrating it by saying, I do this, I do that, I make this money, I do that, here's why you should date me. But it comes across as very needy and very keen, and it's not going to get you what you want with these girls. Guys will get rejected and then try and linger in the friend zone, hoping that one day she'll change her mind. Here's some advice for you: she'll never change her mind. If she's friend zoned you, move on is my best advice. Because women are fickle and weird. Let's say you've been friend zoned and then you move on, but you're still kind of like seeing her sometimes, and she sees you fucking other girls and going on dates. That could be enough to actually reignite her interest for you and make her want to date you. I had this a few times at work when I was younger, where like there was a girl who I made a move to her and she rejected me. And then I was like, yeah, no worries, whatever, I don't care. Genuinely. And then she saw me going on dates, seeing girls, and now she was suddenly interested again. It's social proof. Girls need to confirm you're a guy who gets girls. So most times when you get friend zoned, it's because she thinks you're this like holeless man who can't attract another woman. And if she thinks you can't attract another woman, she'll not take you seriously. So in that situation, like when I was at work, I'd come in and she'd be like, oh, what you been up to over the weekend? And I'd be like, oh, I went on a date, I saw this girl, I saw that girl. And that was enough to like ignite her interest in me again. So that's my advice to you. But friend zone, just move on, mate. So yeah, this has been a long Q&A. Anyway, more questions? I tell guys to have an abundance and to have options that they can, use and whatever. And the reason why I should do this is because it makes you more attractive to have multiple girls you have access to. Whether or not you do anything with that is up to you. But she's saying that her and her friends actually find it unattractive for you to have multiple girls. Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Do not believe what they say. This is why it's like asking a fish how to catch a fucking fish, right? You don't ask a woman a question about attracting females and take it seriously because they don't know themselves. They genuinely believe that what she just said, she will genuinely believe this, right? She'll believe that if you have multiple options, it's not attractive. But when you do have multiple options, it does make you more attractive, whether she'll admit this or not. Well, that's bullshit, because I've had so many fucking cameras going loose again, man. You just tighten this again.
like to know that you have something about yourself, that you're not just the runt of the litter that we're just accepting kind of thing. But
yeah, well, she's saying like if you were dating multiple girls consecutively, like that's a turn off. But then again, I've had so many scenarios where I have dated multiple girls and they weren't happy with it. I agree with you there. But then when you just tell them, I like you and maybe this will become something, but for now I'm gonna date and fuck other girls, 9 out of 10 times they stick around. Or even when they do go away, they come back a fucking week later, because when you are a high value guy, right, and you are in good shape, you've worked on yourself in terms of attraction, you're masculine, you're confident, you have good communication skills, there's not many guys out there that are like this, right? So she will quickly realize that she can't do better, and when she realizes she can't do better, you can essentially like do what you want to an extent. Now, I'm not saying you should be disrespectful and do whatever shady shit, but in the beginning you can have that dynamic if you want. It just depends if you want it. But I will say dating multiple girls at once is a full-time job in itself, so it's not something I would advise for everyone. It becomes very difficult.